Oh my goodness. Let's give some people a chance to get in here. I decided to be crazy and go take a gymnastics lesson today. That's where the stream is going. So Giovanni Campos, Fusion the Second, Jayton, Andrews Outdoors. What's going on, guys? So every once in a while I get a wild hair up my ass and decide to go do something. All right? Like, I like learning new things. I like doing new things. All of that stuff. So a week ago, I decided, you know what? I'm taking martial arts lessons. You know what? Taking some language lessons. I'm taking dance lessons. What's one thing that could tie in and improve with all of this? And I decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go take gymnastics lessons. All right? Now, I've never taken gymnastics lessons. Okay? I mean, maybe I did when I was a kid and I was like 4, but I don't remember that shit, right? So I start calling around to gymnastics schools trying to find somebody to give me a private lesson, because I'm definitely not going to go out and embarrass myself in front of other people. No. That shit will be done in the privacy of a private lesson. So I'm like, I start calling the gymnastics schools and I'm like, hey, do you guys give private lessons? And the resounding answer was no. And then I found 3 schools that like, yeah, we do private lessons. They're, X number of dollars an hour. I was like, okay, cool. Cool. I'd like to sign up for lessons. And they're like, whoa, wait a second. You like the adult we're talking to? No, we only teach children. And I'm like, well, that's a problem because I'm 42. Definitely not a child. So I thought my hopes and dreams were dashed. I was not going to be able to take a gymnastics lesson. And then I'm driving down the road and I see this business called Ninja Village. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So, being the curious fucker that I am, I decided to get out and go see what Ninja Village is. Ninja Village is a parkour and gymnastics training ground. It's basically a guy that's been a gymnastics coach for 30 years. He's now like 54, and he teaches gymnastics to kids. And I was like, hey, can I take a private lesson? And he says, sure. So like a dumbass, I sign up. And, show up for the first lesson. And he asked me how old I am. I'm like 42, and you just see this look on his face like, this is not gonna go well, So I mean, he's trying to be a good sport about it, like, I'm paying him money, and but he's very positive. He's very positive about this, and so he asked what gymnastics I've done. I'm like literally zero, dude. Like none. Okay. The only gymnastics I do is not falling into a tank. Okay, not falling down on a regular basis. So we start out with like some really basic, stretching. Okay? Now, when I was in high school, I dated some gymnasts, and they always told me that gymnast coaches were brutal compared to any other type of coach, especially when it came to stretching. They told me that gymnasts, when they stretch, that is a painful endeavor. And I kind of chalked it up. I mean, it was 20 years ago. Why would I remember that? I tell you what, I remembered it today when I sit down. I'm doing these stretches, and I'm doing them just like he's doing. He's like, "No, stretch further." I'm like, "Dude, I'm 42. I don't stretch like that. Okay, like I don't know what you're missing here." And he's like, "No. Your hands are gonna touch your toes. Your forehead is going to touch your knee. This shit is gonna happen." And I'm like, "You don't bro." Do you know how many times I've tried to touch my toes in the last 10 years? It's not happened, okay? I bend my ass over, I bend at the knee, I pick something up, okay? I'm not going to keep my legs straight and touch my toes. That shit doesn't happen. He's like, it is today. So I'm over there stretching, trying to stretch. He's like, you're not getting far enough. So the man gets up walks behind me. He's like, I'm going to help you out. And pushes on me to go further into the stretch. I'd always been told, like, whenever you stretch, make sure it's, you know, nice and gentle, you know, like you don't want to hurt anything. That is not what gymnasts do. Okay, that is not what gymnasts do. And when it was happening, I remembered what the girls that I dated in high school said, that gymnasts stretch hard. They do. I thought the man was going to like pop tendons and shit. That hurt. It didn't hurt me. Like, I'm not injured, okay? It was just a level of stretching I'm not prepared for. You know, having a 54-year-old guy being like, no, put your head down further, you know? Like, fuck, okay. And so we get done with stretching, and I'm kind of like, whoo, thank God. You know, like, let's get to some gymnastics. And we start with, you know, the front roll, okay? And, you know, he's got these mats stacked up to where they're practically up to your knees, and, you know, you're going to do a front roll. And as you keep doing them, you know, a front roll is nice and easy, okay? And I'm doing it. He's like, you know, good job. You're doing great. You know, blase, blase, blase. And then we go into the back roll. And I'm like, I'm going to have to, like, get over my own self, because the idea of, like, rolling backwards, like, I just think I'm going to injure my neck, okay? And he's like, yeah, you could. We're going to do it anyway. Fuck. Okay. All right. You know, like, I paid money to be here. I'm going to fucking do it. Like, stepping outside of my comfort zone. And we start doing, you know, backwards rolls, okay? And the first one, I go to roll backwards. And the whole deal is like, you kind of tuck your body and then you put your hands up like this. And you kind of like, you know, you tuck and roll, you know? You're supposed to have your chin, like, way down. Apparently, I didn't have my chin way down. So as I rolled up, I kind of weeble wobbled and then went to the side, which is not what you're supposed to do. So this guy's doing everything he can not to laugh at me, because I look like a freaking idiot. And I finally get the back roll done. And I'm like, you know, cool. We're like 30 minutes into this lesson. I'm totally gassed. You know, like having a hard time, like, keeping my breath. And never thought I'd be doing, you know, back rolls. And he's like, cool, let's go over here to the rings, you know, the thing that, like, the gymnasts do where they, like, pull themselves up and shit. And I'm like, fuck, I'm 42. Like, why did I come here? But listen, I'm having fun, right? So he puts me on the rings, and he tells me what to do, okay? And I do it, and the next thing I know, I'm fucking upside down, all right? Which is a fucking problem, because I'm holding on to the rings that are now, like, by my waist, right? But I'm upside down, so if I let go, I'm going to fall on my fucking head, right? And he's like, okay, stay right there. I don't have a choice, okay? Like, do you not get it? You put me inverted on rings. What do you mean, stay right there, okay? So, of course I stay right there, and he's, like, correcting my legs, because what I think is straight up and down is apparently not straight up and down, because, you know, I'm not used to being upside down. And, so then he's like, okay, so just lean back, okay? So now, I'm got the rings up here, okay? And my body is horizontal with my arms behind me, supporting my entire body length. And listen, it's not pretty. It's not like I don't look like a gymnast, okay? I look like the squiggly line that a 4-year-old drew, okay? Like, I'm barely holding on. I'm feeling like shit's gonna rip out of my arms. And I realized that, number one, in this position, I cannot automatically rotate back up the way that I needed to be. Like, that was just not gonna fucking happen. So now, arms behind me, holding on to these rings, body horizontal, I make the decision that I'm gonna let go. The problem is my face is this far from the fucking mat, all right? So I'm gonna let go and just fucking eat the mat with my face, which, like, I'm thinking that I'm fast enough that I can get my arms from behind me to in front of me to catch me, okay? Like, that whole plan went through. Like, I better let go really quick and then, like, Spider-Man that shit out. No. I'm here to tell you, gravity is the bitch you will not beat, okay? I fucking smacked the mat with my head. Fucking holy shit. I mean, it didn't hurt, but it was like the worst kind of pillow fight you could ever have, because it was like, doosh, and you're like, fuck, what was that? It was a mat, you know? Not only that, I was the dumbass that decided to let go. Specifically when he told me not to, but, you know, that's a discussion for a different time. In any event, we get done with that, okay? And I'm actually kind of proud of myself. Like, you know, like, this is some shit I never thought I would fucking do. So he's like, well, what are your goals in trying to do gymnastics? And I was like, look, bro, I've had 3 goals for the last 5 years. It's really simple. I want a 6-pack, I want to do a muscle up, and I want to do visually impressive stuff. I don't have a 6-pack, I can't do a muscle up, and nothing about me is visually impressive. So I would like to learn how to do a muscle up. So we go over to the pull-up bar, and I almost get a muscle up, almost, because he's teaching me all kinds of techniques and false grips, and he's making life easier. It's actually a really good thing. And then he does this bullshit where he does a chin up, raises his arms up, rolls around the bar, and ends up on top of the bar. I don't even fucking understand how he got there, okay? He whoop, 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 and upside down. And there he is, okay? And he's standing on top of the bar. I'm like, how the fuck did you get there? Okay? Like, what is this fucking Spider-Man bullshit? So he's like, I'm going to show you how you do that. So he has me do the same thing, you know, pull up, raise your feet up, roll them over the bar, and you magically are on top of the fucking bar. Like physics just said, fuck it, we're off today. You can do whatever. So now I'm on top of the bar. Here's the problem, okay? As my body rolled over, it smashed my pants with my junk between my body and the bar. So now I'm on top of this bar, like rolling over it, and my junk is like getting like fucking hammered by this bar. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And he's freaking holding my feet, so I can't readjust. Okay, it's not like I have a free hand to readjust anything. So yeah, that did not go well. Note to self: watch where your junk is at when you're spinning around a bar. Okay. In any event, learned how to do that stuff, get back down, and he's like, cool, we're going to learn how to do a handstand. And I'm like, I've always wanted to do a handstand. I mean, think about it, guys. How many of you are like, you know what? I wish I could do a handstand. That sounds like a good thing, right? So we start doing the handstand, which, listen, I don't know if any of y'all like know where you start with that, but basically you put your freaking hands down, you put your head down, okay, to where they're in like a triangle, and then you put your knees on your elbows, so you're standing up and you look like you're taking a shit upside down, okay, and then you try to straighten out your body, okay, but like I said earlier, what you think is straight up is not straight up, and it will cause you shit to fall. So I'm upside down, all right, balancing on my head and my hands. And he's, you know, he kind of guides my feet because he's spotting me. And he's like, okay, go ahead and push up with your arms to where you're actually doing a handstand and not balancing on your head. So I do that. But here's the thing, okay? I did not realize how many muscles there are right here, okay? But they're getting fucking strained, okay? I have never strained neck muscles here, okay? But whenever I was done with this, I roll over and realize the entire time I was upside down, I was not breathing because I was straining so hard that I just decided to not breathe. So I'm gasping for air, and I realized that, like, my neck hurts a lot. And he is slightly worried that I'm injured. I'm like, I'm not injured. I just didn't know how to deal with those forces of nature. In any event, like, I took gymnastics for 50 minutes, all right? And I found out that I have muscles places I didn't even know I had muscles. And those muscles are not strong. So, yeah. That was pretty much the end of the gymnastics lesson. Couldn't Because number one, I just couldn't do anything else. And was just absolutely, absolutely fucking gassed. Like, holy shit. In any event, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Question for you guys. How many of you guys would go take a gymnastics class? Like, as an adult. I assume most of you are adults, okay? You know, but how many of you would be like, let's go take a gymnastics class? Because, listen, whenever I told the office, you know, they're like, oh, where have you been for the last hour? I was like, oh, I was taking gymnastics, and everybody stopped. They were like, you did what? I was like, yeah, I went to gymnastics. Like, you know, whatever. Let's see. Max Little says, when is lesson number 2? Next week. Listen, you're not gonna get me into a gymnastics class and like show me Spider-Man shit and then not get me back for lesson 2. No, this motherfucker is stuck with me, okay, for like a while, okay, like parkour shit, gymnastics, bar stars. We're doing that shit, okay. Lori says define adult. But yeah, definitely lesson number 2 is gonna happen. And I don't know, like, I don't really think I'm gonna get hurt in this class. Like, it's fun, it's hard, but you're surrounded by mats. Like, how do you hurt yourself? So I looked up the national stats for injuries for gymnastics. Like 75% of the injuries are of women. And only like, you know, 25% are of men. So, I've got a, 1 in 4 shot of getting injured. You know, it's better than nothing. Todd says she would have to be really hot. Listen, the gymnastics instructor I had was a dude, okay? And he was 54 years old. And at 54 years old, the man can do the iron cross where you got the rings, you know, and just hold yourself out there, you know, like you're Jesus on a bad day. That thing, he can do that at 54. Like, who the fuck is that? So, Brett the Bachelor says, go to an open gym. The local gymnastics schools, they don't let adults in. Like, most gymnastics schools will not let an adult in. And I think it's to protect the children, which I'm totally fine with. And listen, I'm a private lesson kind of guy because I don't like looking stupid in front of other people. Disregard this video because this video is nothing but me being stupid in front of other people. But yeah, it really blew my mind. So Joshua Majet says, I could do a handstand 20 years ago. Not going to try it these days. Why not? You know, why not? Mr. Bunny Lompkin says, I would do yoga then gymnastics. I don't really understand yoga. Like, come on, guys. Like, I don't get it. You. You live or already over if it's live. Please say don't be stupid. I have no idea what that means, Raphael. In any event, listen, I do go to the gym on a regular basis. So on like Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I'm at the gym, training with a partner. And like, I enjoy myself. I've been doing it for a long time. And I'm stronger than I look, but that's the gym. Gymnastics is different. Dance lesson is different. I also take Krav Maga, not like Americanized Krav Maga where it's like fucking kickboxing with bag work or, CrossFit or some shit like that. Like actually like, fuck your shit up, military type shit. And then we just added, dance lessons about 2 months ago. So learning how to dance. And now we've got some gymnastics going. But I got to tell you, the stretching at gymnastics is way harder than anything else that I've ever done. Those people want to hurt you when they tell you to stretch. In any event. Okay. Somebody says from the show Archer. So on the preview for the show Archer, the little scene that they show when the show is starting, they've got this board and there's a pull-up bar that's loose, okay? They've got all these pegs. So what you got to do is you got to pull up and then you got to like latch the bar and pull up again and then latch the bar and you're always in danger of falling. I did try that today, okay? And it did not go well, okay? Because you've got the bar and you pull up, okay? And then you try to get it on the next rung, and if you miss, you're pulling and that bar is coming to your face, to your teeth, okay? So we had this really weird situation by which I go up, I miss, okay? I'm now falling backwards, but my brain is still like, you need to hold on to this bar. And so I'm bringing this bar like to my face way faster than I should have. And yeah, I almost like knocked my own teeth out just from like being stupid. But it was a lot of fun, you know, because like how many people get to try to do that shit, you know? So Al Gore says, thanks for being fun and awesome and knowing how to do things right. Listen, dude, I don't know how to do shit right, okay? I'm out here making it up, okay? The only reason you think I'm doing it right is because I'm like, it's like Buzz Lightyear, okay? I'm just falling with style. Torn rotator cuffs are no joke. You know, but the thing is like, I can lat pull down like 300 pounds. Like 300, 390. I can bench press like almost 200. Like my shoulders are, I can shrug over 400 pounds. So like my shoulders are pretty fucking used to handling my body weight. I can damn near do a one arm pull up. Not quite, but pretty close. So I don't think I'm gonna injure anything because my like upper musculature is like able to handle my body weight without an issue. Now, not to say that I'm not sore, because you know, I've never hung upside down. That's the other thing I was totally unprepared for. But when I started doing back rolls, of course you do the back roll and then you stand up. That was a mistake, okay? Because some asshole started tilting the earth and spinning it, all right? I got up after having done a back roll. Apparently my brain didn't know how to interpret what the fuck a back roll was. So as soon as I stood up, the world went, whee! And I had to like hold on to a post. And then that left me wondering, like, why is there a post where I'm doing back rolls? Like, I'm going to back roll into the post. And it's just a whole mental exercise that nobody needed. But, yeah. Incomplete spinal cord injury keeps me from continuing gymnastics. Dude, but be glad it's not a complete spinal cord injury. Because, you know, those are like the gift that keeps on giving. Ryan Geeman says, I like musculature better than muscle structure. Okay, cool. Head rushes are one hell of a... Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, being upside down has left me with this, like, really awkward headache all day. And it's sort of, like, half sick. Like, probably like a third sick, a third dizzy, and a third just like a headache. And it only happened after I was like upside down a whole bunch. And so I really, really hope that like goes away. But yeah, like for everybody out there, gymnastics was a freaking blast. And I really, really enjoyed it. So in any event, guys, we've been on here for about 25 minutes. I've told my gymnastics story. Unless there's anything you guys want to talk about, I'm probably going to go check out and go to bed. It is 11:10 at night, and I'm going to go get intimate with a pillow. Okay, that's that's how spicy my life is going to be. Avatar Max says motion sickness, man. Something I don't know. Uh, but yeah, it's a hell of a headache. Brett the Bachelor. Okay, all right. Listen, I'm gonna have to call out Brett the Bachelor here. Brett, you say you're a bachelor, but you got a chick in your profile picture. Like, which one is it? Okay, like, are you advertising that you're single? Because I see a chick right beside your profile picture. All right, or are you trying to show the girl like you can walk at any time? Like, my screen name says I'm single. I'll leave you. What's the deal? Because, like, how are you a bachelor and got a chick? Just a question, or is that your mom? Okay, that's cool. You know, like, lots of people have profile pictures with their mom. I'm just saying. Brett the Bachelor says, dude, I landed on my head, triple backflip off the high bar. Those mats really work. Hell yes, they do. Um, I, I can't imagine landing on my head. And listen, being completely transparent, that if I landed on my head, that might be the thing that got me to quit gymnastics. Oh my God. Glitter Daddy's Daddy says, thanks for doing something on YouTube. You're welcome. I appreciate it. Con says, American Ninja Training, I just got here. Actually, just go back and rewatch the horrible / wonderful thing that I had at gymnastics class. So, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm going to hope to be on here more often. But listen, we've been really busy with work. So and we're now doing plumbing. So now I'm not just the well and septic guy. I'm kind of like the well, septic, and plumbing guy that also runs a lab. So like life is really, really busy. I'm having to learn a whole new trade, which is plumbing. So I'm kind of getting my ass kicked on multiple levels here.